Pfizer never met those bullshit standards of yours. David, you irredeemably evil Eskenazi floorboard hugger. You know? The ones you just reverse fudge packed out of your own personal recto-colo Afro-American pipe sleeve you sit on all day, every day. Then, afterwards, in order to trick millions of human beings around the world to unknowingly and unwillingly be reluctantly coerced against individual bodily autonomy by compulsion to become the lab rats in an unprecedented mass societal scientific experimentation. David, you parenthetically challenged, menorah lighting hand, ringing alphabet mogwai. I, for one, hope to God that no one is getting you wet while you meandering around it for life-altering pounding. Well, because then, sure as shit, you'd start multiplying like that cute little gizmo creature in that movie Gremlins. Wait, maybe that's why the official statistics on Holocaust, cough cough, survivor, is constantly growing larger and larger at such a rapid rate on a yearly basis. Maybe that's, despite the original Burning Man festival having just possibly, but probably not, happening over 80 fucking years ago. By the way, is that how your pedophilic little goblin rabbis actually transform through some kind of chomo metamorphosis and upgrade to gremlin level moil? Because you hand-wringing, coaster-balancing biz-aness men all choose to look the other way when the neighborhood Nosferatu goes on a late-night penis-chomping escapade after midnight so he can snuggle his way into a child molester kite-coon to initiate his pedomorphosis from the creepy-crawly, mud-molesting, dirt-defiling kid-o-diddler and begin the slow process of shedding your shisty old catch-a-predo-pillar kvetch-zo-skeleton and trans-affirming into a boofed-it-full butt-rub-eye. After stretching out those big schnoz holes of yours, just like a nigger with its head out his car window driving 90 onto highway, if you need help imagining it, it's exactly the same as your space Jew cousins. The butt-fucking Ferengi would loosen up those litigious earlobes, and voila, just like Dumbo, you'll use your Juver vacuum cleaver to fly like a kike through every maternity ward and chopping the tippy-tops of all these babies' cocks. Now you'll truly be able to subvert the Goyim by circumventing the human right of informed consent, by utilizing thousands of years of sadistically masochistic and inherently Kabbalistic Hebrew spell-casting abilities to take advantage of the newborn infants. Parents' exhaustion by enveloping them in the tight grip of your mastery-level Jewry, unleashing your linguistically Orwellian doublespeak in order to bamboozle them with such disorientating litigious linguistics from the current submissive state they've already succumbed to, hypnotically coercing them into a permissive state of mind. Why? Because even though we know that a Jew can get away with anything in this world, there's one thing more ancient and powerful than even the sorcery of the chosen, and that's the permission that a vampire must be willingly and verbally provided if you plan on entering that hospital room, ungrasping your tightly wringing hands, slipping those Hebrew phalange-anchored filthy fingernails, seemingly so irreparably untamed that the grimy, rust-like, ostensibly wretched disregard for even an iota of hygiene gave off the impression of some inherent brittle nature to the nail's structural integrity. And yet, counterintuitively, you are finally able to punch those rusty steel-grade Hasidic claws into the penile appendage of the baby Goyim as your animalistically claw-tipped fingers grasp hold of the baby Gentile's newborn noodle. Your nails pop one by one like a fistful of phaser jab syringes. All of this finally culminates in the climactic apex of a real-time Jewish vampirical epic to rival Homer's Iliad. And then, and only then, your lust for the flesh of the Gentile can no longer be tamed, and your inner Eskenazi collapses under the weight of ancient, uncontainably venomous thirst for blood can no longer be denied. The pressure balloting inside you finally pops. Then, as you release the pressure by exhaling outward, gusting out your nasal cavities, you thrust your head downward onto the infantile pelvis, wrap your chapped Jew lips around the glands of the Gentile's dick tip, and sink your sharply pointed teeth into its foreskin. And as your yarmulke drops down from your balding cranial coaster holster head dent, you ravenously rip that fleshy Gentile foreskin tip off the infantile Goyim dick and float off into the blissfully ignorant, chosen vampirical moil, rabbinically Yiddish Hasidic bliss of sipping every last drip of blood from your own personal mitzvah between your lips.